Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. I have a special guest. Yes, we are bringing him back because he is saving me money and saving a lot of you money. How you doing, David?
I am better than I deserve to be.
Folks, if you don't know who David is, he represents a company that is helping us do some cost segregation and bonus depreciation. David, one more time, what's the name of your company?
Cost Segregation Services, Inc.
Very cool. And just so we can hit it here once, we'll hit it again at the end. How do you want people to reach out? Because I know a lot of people at one rental at a time will be reaching out after this video.
They can reach out to me by text at 770-367-8091, or they can reach out to me by email at david.wiener, and that's WIENER, at costsegregationservices.com.
Folks, I suggest just texting him. He's getting blown up by one rental at a time, folks. So just text him, start the process. So David, what I want to do in this first episode is just talk about what we are doing in my business. Okay. Just so what people need to realize is, yes, I really do this one rental at a time. Yes, I test my providers before I bring them to the channel. So as you know, I closed on a duplex earlier this year. Let's call it August or September. I don't remember. You were introduced to me by Omar. So I tried you out. So step one, you asked me 3 or 4 pieces of information: property address, data wind service, estimated land value, all of these kind of real basic things. I sent that to you in less than 48 hours. I think in my case, it was less than 36 hours. You sent me back a proposal or an estimate or whatever you would like to call it. We had a conversation. You put together a great PowerPoint or PDF. We went through it, had lots of information. Of course, I focused on the one part of the thing that said, how much money am I going to save? But I get it. You had a marketing stick. You've got to do it. So that's cool, folks. And of course, just go back to the playlist. All this stuff is there. So you can watch us go over this together. So that was kind of step one, right, David?
That was it. Yep.
At that point, you're saying, hey, buddy, you want to spend some money and actually do this thing? I think my cost was under $3,000. I paid half. I think I paid half up front, and I'll pay half when completed.
Yep.
So we did that, right? Took the credit card information, charged my card, at which point you sent that proposal off to other people. They started evaluating the file. And I think it was like 3 days later, you came back to me and said, okay, we need these 3 things. And one of them is going to be obviously access to the property. Right. It's kind of, that was kind of like, I guess that's step 3. Is that kind of where, am I remembering everything correctly?
Once we get the project going and it's assigned a coordinator, we're going to need to, besides accumulating some documents and things on the property, we're going to need to do a site visit.
Yep.
Site visit's short, sweet. We come out, we take some pictures, we take some measurements, and all of those are sent back to our engineers for the actual study.
Right. So that's where we're at. And the last thing, again, because my property is out of area, I have given you my property manager's name and number so that they could coordinate when that occurs. One thing I don't know, which I'll ask you here on videos, are we talking days, weeks, months for this access to take the pictures and kind of get this thing going next level?
We can do it as soon as you can do it. So they may have already been to your property and taken the pictures.
Very cool. Okay.
A lot of times it's scheduled within the week.
All right. Very, very cool. So yeah, so that's so it was Thanksgiving week. So if it didn't occur the last 2 weeks, I think we did it after Thanksgiving. So maybe it'll occur this week. So they get the pictures, they get everything they need. What happens next?
All of that information goes to our engineers, who then actually begin what they call the study phase, when they're going to break everything out. They look in detail at those pictures for all the different pieces and parts that are in there. They know exactly what they're looking for. I've had a number of people say, hey, I could just take some pictures and send it to you. No, you don't know the kind of pictures that we actually need. So occasionally I do those myself if it's local to me, or we have a company that we work with that's nationwide that goes out and knows exactly what we need on the pictures. The study phase takes between 6 and 8 weeks to finish.
Okay.
Depending on if we're in tax season, it's going to take a little longer because we're in the middle of all kinds of other stuff. But once that's done, we'll get the complete report back. I'll see it first, kind of go over it, make sure everything looks good. Then I'm gonna email you and say, hey, things are done. We charge you the second half, and then that's released to you. And if you like me to send a copy to your CPA or tax professional, I will certainly do that.
Mhm.
And then the deal is, with your tax professional, if they have any questions or they need any help in applying it, they can contact me at any time, and
Very
I can
cool.
help them out with it.
Yeah. So folks, again, I would not, this is again, is a thing that you want to have the audit. You want to have them, your company behind an audit if it happens. So don't, that's why I would never offer to take pictures. No, I'm paying you a couple of grand. You're going to go do them. That way, if there's a problem, you're going to be involved.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no charge for that or anything,
Yeah.
so they might as well let us do it,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, I look forward to this. Again, for folks that maybe have questions around timing, we initiated it this year, even though I won't see the report probably till late January. Totally okay. It will be for the 2021 tax season or tax filing, which occurs in April, at least for me, maybe March for others. But yeah, this is all going as planned, as expected. You've
Good.
exceeded expectations. So thank you.
We are coming up on a couple of deadlines just to keep people aware of. If you're filing in March, we need not only to be engaged to do the study, but we need all of the pictures and documents back before January the 20th in order to get it done in time for your March filing.
Good to know.
February 20th in order to get it done in time for your April filing. And should for some reason things be delayed or whatever, you can always file an extension.
Mhm.
And we can get it for the extension, no problem that way.
This is pretty cool. So again, folks, I wanted to do episode 1, catch you up on my processes. Can again, I'm not some fake YouTuber who just talks about these things. I really do this business. I really built a portfolio, one rental at a time. Catching you up on cost segregation, bonus depreciation as part of the Jobs Act. We've got one more year of full depreciation. Then it starts to go down 20% a year. So I look forward to doing a lot more of these next year. And I did a video last week, I think, saying I'm not selling anything next year, David, because I'm going to run through everything I purchased with you.
I've actually heard that from a bunch of people.
Yeah.
2022 is going to be the year of acquisition and hold.
Yeah.
And they'll get back to doing whatever they were going to do otherwise. And I know people who are regular flippers that aren't
not doing it. We're keeping. Well, David, thank you again. Give them your number one more time, because one rental at a time, folks will text you to get started. What is that?
770-367-8091. They can feel free to call me too if they have questions. Just text me, and what I'll do is send you a link to set up a phone conversation with me, and we'll go from there.
Very cool. One more time. What's the number?
770-367-8091.
Cool. Thanks, bud.
My pleasure.